Yeah.
Okay, don't know how long it's going to be for her to join us, but I will give you guys the recap in the interim. So last time, you guys sailed your ship to the old abandoned capital of Lithandel on the Lost Isle, hoping to find a relic that was left behind that could aid you against the undead. After a few encounters with the dinosaurs that had overrun the city, you met a two-headed giant named Jib and Jab, who had been polymorphed into a Tyrannosaurus. You guys convinced him to lead you back to his friend, who turned out to be a little pixie called Kylene, who charmed everybody except Gilderoy, and convinced you to go fight a banshee that was haunting the old temple of Lathander. She even agreed to give you the relic, which she already had, if you killed the banshee and brought her back a different shiny to replace it. You guys went to the temple, killed the banshee, went back to Kylene's place, got the relic from her, and then departed from the city. On your journey back, you noticed a large growing force of undead amassing at Red Hook. You guys arrived in Baldoran and discussed plans with the Viceroy to set up scouts to watch this massing undead force and plan for potential evacuations of the surrounding towns into Baldoran, and to use the relic to ward part of the city before leaving to investigate the Isle of Dusk.
That's right.
Yes,
Believe we
because
were gonna
in
go
the
to the
previous
temple.
session before that, on a whilst sailing, you started to put the pieces together that there seems to be some phenomenon going on with these rifts where some of the energy that's coming out of them is like flowing towards the Isle of Dusk, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is where we pick up.
Okie dokie. So,
In the morning, we're gonna do that ceremony
right.
thing.
Yep, we're going to go to the sages.
Yep,
and
because
get Gilderoy fixed.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who's carrying the sensor? I think it's Gilderoy, right?
I think so.
And you guys had talked to the Viceroy, and he was in the process of trying to acquire the materials for the ritual for you.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So the first thing, when you guys wake up, everybody that was charmed is no longer charmed, but you aren't explicitly aware of having been charmed. You simply, you no longer feel the effects. So you don't really think of Kylene as being a good friend. You don't feel a compulsion to bring her any items.
But you don't feel that she was a bad friend either.
Yeah, no, whether or not, your character genuinely liked her is up to your discretion.
I think Boris did.
I feel like you guys are gonna like her just for the fact that it pisses Gilderoy off.
Probably.
We all know that's the reason.
There's a little hint that, this pissed Gilderoy off. I'm gonna keep it up.
Let's lean into it.
Yeah. Yeah. But do we still think that Gilderoy's charmed? Is the question.
I mean, that's entirely your guys' opinion. That wasn't an effect of the charm.
I mean, that's the thing, yeah. He might still be charmed. If he acts the same way, he might still be charmed.
Gilderoy just comes downstairs pouting.
Good morning. Ready to
Morning.
go get uncharmed?
He just glares at you like, fuck you.
Uh-huh.
Pretty similar to that. Like the Only if you want to.
I mean, I think it's for your benefit, really. You know, we
Well,
don't want.
are you feeling better today?
I never felt bad in the first place.
Still charmed.
Yep, absolutely.
Fuck's sake. If we have to pay for this shit, I swear to God.
I mean, I'm sure with your upcoming book sales that, like, you'll be able to pay for it.
But they're my
You
book sales.
you have gone to the sages before and had them cast Dispel Magic on one of your people, and it didn't cost anything.
So let's go to the sages. I'm sure Ingrith is with us.
Presumably.
Yeah.
All right, you guys head out of the inn and make your way to the tower with the sages. And you guys find them in their usual places, with the old man looking through his telescope, the kind of like stoner monk guy just practicing some yoga, and the woman with the big glasses, the face buried in a book, and her little like conspiracy theory evidence board behind her.
Hello?
Huh? Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Old man steps away from his telescope. To what do we owe your pleasure?
Well, you see, remember our friend Gilderoy over here? You know.
We are well acquainted with Mr. Lockhart.
Yes.
Yeah, man, he writes the books.
Right? Yeah, unfortunately, we think that he's, like, caught under some sort of charm.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Would you be able to help him out?
Of course I can dispel simple magics like this. And he will go over and place his hand upon Gilderoy's head and cast Dispel Magic.
Let me be completely honest with you. I'm not charmed. They are. Just to make that clear.
Nothing happens.
Exactly.
There is no magical effect on you.
Oh, I am cleared! What wonderful miracle is this?
So you feel better now?
I feel so much better. Thank you, Walrus,
Well,
for
good.
doing this.
Well, there, just don't give a shit next time. We're just trying to help.
Yeah, come on. You're quite
I'm
right.
honored
should-
to have been of service to you.
Thank you.
Is there
You are
any
too kind.
other problems that you have? Some wisdom that you might require?
You know, maybe we all should just, in case we all are charmed, like, we should all just get checked. Just in case.
You know,
It might be one of those things, like, where Walrus is being tracked. It might be like one of those things.
Suppose it
not?
didn't hurt.
Exactly.
I guess.
Can we all get our physical right now?
Yeah, he'll go ahead and cast. Well, he doesn't actually quite have enough spell slots, so the guy was doing the yoga will stand up and help him, and they will cast Dispel Magic on all of you. No effect, because the charm effect already wore off.
Well, it seems that you were the only one charmed, Gilderoy. I feel perfectly fine. I felt
Huh.
perfectly fine.
Funny how that worked out.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Doesn't hurt to clear things up, though. Feel like a daily dispel does you good, you know?
Yeah, you know what? It does. Well, thank you for the help in helping Mr. Lockhart here. I believe we're off to the Isle of Dusk.
And don't forget to pre-order my new book.
And also be careful in the next few days.
That too.
Yeah.
Well, we need to be careful more. Everything's looking good, man.
Have you
Right.
seen the undead at Red Hook? Have you heard of all that shit that's going on?
The what now?
The who what?
He seems like he has no idea what the fuck is going on.
Oh no.
Is this one of the sages?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you missed was when you woke up, the charm effect wore off.
Mm.
So you no longer consider Kailini to be a close friend. You no longer feel a compulsion to bring her anything. But whether you're not explicitly aware of the fact that you were charmed, whether or not your character puts two and two together or actually liked Kailini is up to you.
Or if it's just to piss Gilderoy off.
That too.
I'm not sure that Ingrid is smart enough to realize that that might have come into play, but I don't think she felt one way or the other about Kailini, so probably not.
But yeah, we went to go
Saying
and
there's
save
something
Gilderoy.
going on at Red Hook.
Yeah, lots of undead. It's
Yeah.
getting pretty nasty down there.
But
Oh, I
like,
didn't see anything like that when I was meditating. That didn't sound right.
well, you know, if you turn your telescope to the Isle of Dusk, you'll see a whole bunch of clouds kind of swirling towards it. That might be a thing.
Why would I look upon the land? This is meant to look at the star.
Because you live down here and not up there.
The answers are up there.
Do you have...
Divination is the art of the celestial.
Oh, not one of these again.
Well, thanks for your help. And watch out for the Red Hook shenanigans.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't need anything else, something that we can assist you with.
Do you have anything to protect from undead?
Or that would be more within the realm of the clerics at the temple.
But I thought you said divination and some of that stuff might, you know. No? Okay.
Divination isn't
Yeah.
divine magic.
Yeah,
Divination is the like scrying and detection,
right.
fortune telling.
Ah, fact. Well, I guess, I don't know, unless you want to predict our futures and see if we'll make it out of this battle, I don't know that there's much that you can help with.
What is the casting time of augury? Oh, 1 minute, yeah.
Oh,
Describe for me the plan that you wish to take, and I shall read your fortune in the stars.
oh.
Keep in mind, it's morning. You can't really see the stars right now.
Yeah, it's just like, okay. Well, we plan on sailing to the Isle of Dusk, and hopefully going to the Sunken Barrow from there, and trying to figure out what is causing the rifts, I guess. Kind of looks around to everybody else.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that sums it up.
I'm hoping that we'll find the answer there.
Traveling to Isle of Dusk, going to the Sunken Barrow. Yes. He goes over to his telescope and takes like an extremely long amount of time to try and look through it, and eventually just consults a star chart that he already has. And gets out some magical components and sets up a little divination ritual circle. And takes a minute for him to do the ritual. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, no, woe unto you if you go to the Isle of Dusk.
I mean, yeah.
The woman with the big glasses like puts her book down and goes over and looks at it, and she goes, "No, you're reading that wrong. It's weal and woe. It's good and bad." You don't know how to do divination magic of the stars. You have your books. Do not lecture me upon my augury methods. She walks away, and walking past you guys, she goes, "You read it wrong."
May I look, perhaps?
Of course.
I'm going to take. Can I take? So
A
it's
man
a
of
giant
experience, Mr. Lockhart, surely knows proper magic when he sees it.
It's a giant telescope, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to take it and turn it towards where I know that cloud
Mr.
formation is.
Lockhart, the divination circle is here, Mr. Lockhart. That's my instrument. Please
I know
do
what
not...
I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Are you gonna do what with it?
I'm gonna look at, see if I can see Red Hook from here. Like, see if I can tell if there's more smoke or whatever. Like, if it's getting worse.
Unfortunately, the way the device is set up, it doesn't have the capability of like going low enough to look at land.
Can I see this, like, sky above it? Like, where the smoke stuff was?
Yeah, you could see that.
Okay, is there still some smoke, like, going that direction? More, less? Cloud getting bigger?
Considering how magnified this thing is, it's kind of hard to tell. What you'd be seeing through the telescope would be vastly different compared to what you'd be seeing with...
Yes. We are in great peril. Seems the sky is graying around us.
Yes, but the divination circle, the augury circle is here, Mr. Lockhart. You must look at my ritual circle here.
Look outside the circle, my friend.
It does appear a bit dreary out, but I don't see how that matters. The great function of my augury circle here.
Thank you for your help, friend. Have a good one. Don't forget to pre-order my book.
Oh, I expected there would be multiple copies coming to us, Mr. Lockhart.
Are we good to, where were we gonna put that thing up for it with the what's it called?
That's a good
The
question.
sensor.
Yes, that thing.
I thought we were putting at these main gates
Okay.
to stop them from coming into the city through the land, at least.
Ote. And it was the ritual of warding.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go do that.
Onward!
Out of these cuckoo crazy people's houses.
All right, you guys leave the sages, and you are able to meet up with people from the temple. Got word from the viceroy; they provide you with the materials to use in the sensor, and you guys are heading towards the gates.
Yep.
Yes.
As you guys are passing through the streets, there's a whole bunch of people who are stopping you, like, every few minutes. Like, how's the new book coming along, Mr. Lockhart? We're getting it soon.
Very soon. Excuse us, we're important business to attend.
Is there going to be a release party, Mr. Lockhart?
Naturally.
You know, it's really rude to always expect famous people to give you their attention whenever you like. He's a person too.
I am
Oh.
generally touched, Walrus.
I'm just really fucking annoyed at people asking about this goddamn book.
They look very dejected, and they're wondering why Gilderoy would have somebody in his retinue who says things like this.
Sometimes people just want to not be on all the time, you know?
But this is Gilderoy Lockhart we're talking about.
He just has my best interest at heart. Don't you, Walrus?
I do.
And I appreciate you.
If I might inquire, Mr. Lockhart, what is the subject of the new book?
And I'll go close and loudly whisper, "Well, it's cold in the eyes of the beholder. I'll let you figure it out from there." But
He
shh,
gets
don't
a
tell
big
anyone.
smile on his face and pulls back, and you can see he immediately goes over and starts talking to his friends.
That should keep him for a bit. Let's go.
Run! Go, go, go!
This general pattern continues as you guys make your way through the city before you guys finally make it to the front gates.
I'll keep watch or something as this ceremony is performed.
I'll assist with the ceremony if I can. Being magically inclined.
Well, there isn't necessarily a skill check involved with it, so you don't need somebody to assist with it. Who is going to perform the ritual?
It's probably me or Gilderoy, right?
Yep, I have it, so I guess I could do it. Or you can, either way.
I'm just trying to think. Ritual of warding. No, go ahead.
Alright,
You have more
I
luck
will
with spells than I do.
I will start the ritual. Takes 1 hour?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I will start the ritual.
All right. You place the components into the sensor and set it alight, and it starts to burn. How does Gilderoy do this? Gilderoy isn't a devout follower of Lathander.
I'm gonna bullshit my way through it like I always do. Gonna act like I know what I'm doing. We were with those clerics for long enough. I'm just gonna try to imitate what they did.
All right. Just give me a general performance roll as you're doing this. Yeah, as you start making your way with the sensor, patrolling it near the gate, smoke billowing out, bullshitting your way through some chanting and praying. People generally seem to see that you're on some kind of official business and they're, clearing out of the way, letting you work. About a half hour into the ritual, Walrus, you were keeping watch, right?
Yes.
You see a group of people approaching. It's like, a couple dozen common people. It looks like a couple of priests, a couple clerics. Nobody that
Like-
you recognize.
From within the city coming towards us?
Yes. They'd be approaching from this direction.
I point him out and kind of give a nod towards them to the party. We got company?
Oh no.
Gilderoy, keep going.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start walking towards this group of people.
I'll kind of flank behind you.
You
Same.
see the priests are kind of in the lead, and as they draw closer to you guys, one of them goes, "What is the meaning of this? Why is Gilderoy Lockhart saying prayers to Lathander in the blessed city of Baldur?"
We're under order of the Viceroy.
These are meant to protect your city from any attacks that may occur.
Why would we need to invoke the name of the god who abandoned us?
Because he never truly meant to leave you, and this is his way of imploring apologies and trying to protect the city.
Give me a persuasion check.
Helpful acts are always helpful.
Would it be advantage because Gilderoy is wearing the amulet of Baldur on his chest currently?
You're kind of behind this interaction though,
Okay.
too far away for them to have noticed that you're wearing the necklace, probably.
Gotcha.
You see the crowd behind these clerics kind of starts to clamor and go, well, I guess it can't hurt. I mean, protection is protection, right? It's not like there's only one god of light.
Exactly.
Exactly. Whatever it takes to not die would be great.
I don't think Gilderoy Lockhart would do something that would be bad for us.
Exactly.
Now, if I were you, I would all step back and be quiet so he can finish what he's doing. You don't want to get in Gilderoy Lockhart's way, do you?
We're not evildoers. You can see at that point the crowd kind of like breaks up. The priests didn't seem entirely convinced by your arguments, but they've lost the momentum of the people that were behind them.
Mm-hmm.
If you have further concerns, feel free to take it up with the Viceroy.
What he said.
One of them turns and walks away. The other one says, "Oh, I'll be speaking to the temple. Don't you worry about that."
Church and state.
They take off in a different direction.
Okay then.
They're all gone then? It's just us again?
Yep.
That went better than planned. Did not consider that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I figured something like that might happen, but I am so glad I was able to pull that out of my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well then. It's just gonna sit back like, okay, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
still
shit.
like watching out.
Gilderoy is able to finish the rest of the ritual without incident.
And it doesn't leave any marking, correct? Because it's just incense and words.
Correct. Not like
Would I
there's
know-
a big flashing neon sign that says that this wall is protected.
No undead here.
Right?
Would I know if someone would be able to sense or figure out if this glyph thing is
Ooh.
active here? I don't know what it's called. The ritual. Would someone be able to know if this ritual warding had been done?
Yeah, they could possibly detect it with detect magic or something like that.
Okay. Do I know if this is something that can be undone, other than us doing the ritual somewhere else?
Well, it only lasts for 24 hours. So it's
Right.
got limits anyway. As to whether or not somebody could like dispel it, you're not sure.
Should we make sure the guards here don't let people come and fuck around other than us?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's already their job, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah, but mostly from the outside. We don't want people from the inside we don't want any of these clerics to come up and undo this protection.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
yeah. Why don't we go talk to the guards quickly before we leave?
Hey, you, boy.
So,
Yes? Oh, hello, Mr. Lockhart. Have you finished whatever it is you were doing?
Yes, and I would greatly appreciate it if nobody fucked it up. So whoever that group was that came over and harassed us while I was doing very important business for the Viceroy, make sure
I
they
must
don't
have missed
fuck
that. So what do you
Wow,
mean by
some guard.
fucked it up? I'm not exactly sure what it was you were doing or how somebody would undo it.
I just don't want people messing with what I fixed. So eyes on both sides of the gate, yes?
But I don't know what you fixed, Mr. Lockhart.
I put up a protection so no evil, zombie things can get through the damn door.
Oh, some sort of like warding off of
Yes.
evil?
Very powerful magic.
Why would somebody try to undo that?
I don't know
Does-
why they tried to interrupt me in the first place.
The source of the warding doesn't come from
normal means.
where the Temple of Balder would like them to come from. But I promise everything is on the up and up. We just needed to stay there to protect quite literally everyone in the city's lives.
Give me a persuasion check.
Advantage?
Yeah, I think Walrus is helping you there.
Did you say persuasion?
Yeah. I don't usually have to watch from the inside, but keep a steady watch on, Mr. Lockhart.
Much appreciated.
And so we did this like at the gate, correct? Or is it like kind of where we're at?
I was assuming that you guys did like the whole wall.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Just pacing back and forth.
Well, thank you for taking on this additional duty, Mr. Guard person.
Shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. Not a whole lot happens on guard duty at the gate.
Man, I hope it stays that way.
Knock on wood.
That sounded like you don't think it's going to stay that way. Is there something I should know about?
Like I said, just keep an eye out and we'll take care of it from there. Okay?
He gives you a big thumbs up.
Gilderoy will
Well-
smile and like start leaving.
Shall we?
Yes, please.
To the boat.
To the boat!
Sometimes these people follow me and I don't understand why.
It's probably all that cologne you put on.
I think I smell quite nice, thank you.
That's what I'm saying. They don't normally smell nice things.
Oh, just making me so happy, Walrus. You might need some chapstick for
guys
your lips,
head
though, for kissing my butt.
Back to the Noble again on your way back through the Commons Mercantile District, getting stopped every few minutes. People wanting to know about this book that Gilderoy's working on.
Oh my god.
He could work on it faster if you stopped bugging him about it.
It's making us money. It's making us money.
That's
It's
a good
making us
point. I'm
money.
sorry for interrupting, Mr. Lockhart.
Thank you.
And you guys head to the docks and gather your crew, get on your ship. So what's the plan then?
We want to do a lap around the Isle of Dusk to find the best
Yes, we do.
way to enter the island
The fuck-
and go from there.
Yes. Yeah, I think
Sounds
that's
good.
best. Go north and around.
Yeah, go clockwise around the isle.
Yeah.
Alright, we can do that. And you guys set sail.
And I'm really keeping an eye out for anything that could have been an old port or any area
Yeah.
that is easier to approach from
Old
by
dogs
land.
or something.
Yeah.
As you guys are curling around northways, the darkness expanding from the rift outside Rodel has continued to grow larger and larger, and the whole landmass on that side just seems in night at this point.
Not good.
I don't like it.
That's going to be a major headache later.
And you
Maybe-
guys head for the Isle of Dusk. I'll need you to give me perception checks.
Woo.
Everyone?
Assuming that you're all keeping watch as you guys are sailing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, Mike and I freaking
Oh.
rolled like this yesterday. Jesus.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, that's right. All that shit.
We all fucking failed.
Ingrith and Gilderoy. You guys are the first to notice that as you start drawing close to the Isle of Dusk, that everything seems to get a little darker and has a little less color. And you can see more clearly this phenomenon of like a little stream of dark above the cloud cover heading in this direction. You can't quite see what it's heading towards because it's blocked by kind of the mountains that formed out of a crater. But there's definitely something at the center of the Isle of Dusk. As you guys sail around the northern perimeter, you don't see any old ports or places that you could land your ship.
What about breaks in the mountains that might be easier to get to the center of the island?
There are lower points in the mountains, but there doesn't seem to be a lower point on the outer edge of the island. Like, if you wanted to, you could possibly cut into the mountains here, but there's like a big cliff that you'd have to climb to get on the land there.
So no beach front at all?
No beachfront.
This isn't a resort island?
It is not.
This is just the northern side, though, right?
Yep.
So far? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, continue sailing around. There's a sense of hope as you're crossing this little sharp point that maybe you'll find something better on the other side. But it's just more sheer rock. I would like everybody to make me a perception check once again.
Vegeta's bit out of it. It's fine. I'm getting your rules today, Maddie.
You guys sail around to the southern area of the island, having found nothing so far. But from this position, you guys are able to get a better look down towards Auber. And you can definitely see from this side that there is a rift there. Or something else that emanates darkness.
What do you do, Benita?
I don't know. I swear I haven't used anything the last couple of days.
Yeah, all your puppies are counted for.
Nope. Nope. Never. I don't know what the fuck it is.
And you guys come close to finishing your lap, having found nothing so far. I'm going to need another perception check.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Walrus and Ingrith.
Ooh.
As you guys are carefully examining the coastline, looking at your maps, you notice that what you're seeing here doesn't match up with the map.
With the map?
Yeah.
Like it was plotted incorrectly? Or has changed since it was plotted?
Potentially. On the map, it looks like the water goes in further, but from what you're seeing, it doesn't.
like it could be illusory.
Mm-hmm.
From what you're seeing, the land stops kind of like this.
Captain,
Red flag.
can take a hard right. Let's get closer in this
You
inlet
wanna
here.
fucking go in there?
I want to get closer.
Alright.
I don't trust that shoreline. It doesn't look accurate compared to the map. Look at this map.
Well, I can't fault you on that. It does seem a little off.
Yeah, so I would like to go towards it.
I forget which side is port and starboard, so I'm not gonna do my 50-50 shot on that. I'm gonna say he turns in that direction.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'll do 50-50. Hard to starboard. Where's our Travis Willingham book? We need it.
I
Where's
know
the
his-
board book?
His binder.
Yeah. Oh.
And you guys turn the ship and sail into this little inlet. And it just appears to be another, like, 100-foot tall cliff. But it seems like it's further out than the map would indicate that it was.
How far are we from it?
I would say he probably would have stopped the ship, like, 150 feet from it, give himself ample room to turn around.
I would like to shoot an arrow at it
Yeah, sure.
to see if it goes through the cliff.
You
That sound
knock
good,
an
guys?
arrow into your bow, pull back,
Do it.
shoot. The arrow flies through an illusory wall.
Captain,
Sail to the
Fake-
wall.
fake wall.
So now
Touch
you
the
want me to
wall.
fucking go into the wall.
Yes,
You want me to drive my ship into
absolutely.
the wall.
Balls to the walls.
Have we ever led you astray?
I will
No.
remind you guys. You have a capability of scouting with the Ravenstone.
Oh, that's
Are we
right.
there? Are we there yet, guys?
I think we're there.
I think we're there.
Are we there? Alright.
We're there.
It's up to you, but
I mean, I've just been kind of holding off on it, wondering if we're there yet.
I mean, we really don't. I guess we don't want to bottom out our boat.
Probably
You
not.
could also, polymorph somebody into a flying creature and have them scout. You
That's
guys
a
have got
spell.
options other than sending your ship in.
I'd
I
rather
mean-
not use the spell slot.
It sounds like we're there, so sure, I'll crack out the Ravenstone.
All right, you hold the Ravenstone out and crush it in your hand, and it just kind of turns to powder. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, a raven flies down out of the sky and sits on your shoulder.
I don't really know how it works, so I'll just look at it real intently and see if I can, like, go into it. Or, like, talk to it.
You get the sense that it stand if you speak to it, but it doesn't necessarily have the capability of speaking to you.
I mean,
Can you see
out of
through it?
character, yes it does. Ravens are super smart.
This isn't technically a raven, though. It's a
It's
magical
taking-
familiar.
Fine. Fine.
Can you like see through that thing?
I mean, I think that's the point of it. I just don't know how it works.
could as magically inclined, be able to figure it out and tell her how to work it?
It seems like any other magical familiar, which is a pretty basic spell, so she isn't a spellcaster, so she's not going to be as familiar with the stuff as you, but if she exerts her will to attempt to see through this creature's eyes, that should be something she's able to do.
Yeah, I told her just think like you're seeing through it. Tell it to fly. Think you're seeing it.
Be the bird.
Be
okay.
the bird.
Well,
See the bird. Be the bird.
I will. Please don't let me drown if I fall overboard from
Will-
vertigo or some shit like that. So just,
Yeah.
Okay, fly over there, and I'll point towards like the illusionary wall. Please, With all due respect. I don't know how you're
There
supposed
is
to
a
talk.
moment where your vision blurs and suddenly shifts over to the right. And then you're seeing through the creature and you see it turn and look at your face. And then it takes flight and starts flying.
It's trippy as fuck.
And rather than going through the wall, it chooses to go over the wall, at which point you see that the water does go in further. And in that water, you see several small ships, as well as a larger ship that is being constructed at the moment by a bunch of undead. It looks like they're using a combination of like bones and wood.
Hmm. Bones
You
from
see-
what?
You see a big
Whales?
pile of dead creatures.
Giant lizards.
Yeah.
Some of them. There's also people bones there.
Okay.
Give me a what is the Raven stats actually?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking that.
Oh, okay, they get a +3 on perception, so just give me a d20 +3.
Ooh, okay.
You're able to see it looks like a couple of tenarooks are there on the shore as well. And something that you haven't seen before, perched on a few positions kind of around this little bay, you see these horrible monstrosities that look like the skeletal upper torso of a person, but they also have like the big wings from a pterodon.
Mm.
These flying creatures that he has created with these big claws on their hands seem like they're keeping watch.
I would be relaying all this information. Unknown if anyone can hear me, but I like to think I'm talking.
Yeah, you all still on the boat hear her describing what she's seeing as the Raven continues to fly.
Can she hear what we say or no?
Nope. All of her senses are through the Raven
Blind
right
and
now.
deaf.
So if they're
Yeah.
making boats, do you think we should incapacitate the boats? So they can't follow us if we leave here.
I mean,
I wonder why they're making boats. Where are they
That
going?
too.
Yeah, because they
I'ma
can go
keep
through
going.
the rifts.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna keep going. See what else there is to see. I think. Please, Mr. Raven.
Your Raven continues to fly, and you can see at this point like a rather well-trodden path leading through this low point. And it looks like the water that is still here is kind of like a salt marsh, that everything
Mm.
around it has died, kind of petrified. And you can see in the center a little bit of land and the broken shell of a building there with more undead standing guard outside of it. It looks like a rather large structure that kind of collapsed downward and is probably partially underground.
Mm.
And you can also distinctly see at this point a large dark cloud overhead that kind of has this look of a funnel or a tornado to it.
Are we
Where this-
talking like the rift in Inquisition?
Not quite that extreme, it's more subtle, but yes.
Okay.
Damn.
It seems like all that energy from these rifts is kind of flowing
Pooling.
towards here and, yeah, pooling and being siphoned down into the sunken barrow.
I guess I would maybe just circle a little bit and then circle back into the bay to see if there's any way on the sides to see if we can, so we're not driving our ship directly into the docks where they're working on the ship, so that we can get off and go over there if we need to.
Well, the other thing that I will say is across this kind of like salt swamp, it looks like they have laid down like some, dead trees and some other things to make like a pathway to walk across it. That's the only way to walk across it. Otherwise, you're wading through quite a bit of marsh.
Okay.
I don't know if we can take on that many undead.
But yeah, there is low points in the mountains here and here and here.
We just have to get up a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Are there any low points in the bay on the sides?
Oh, the bay has an actual proper like beach, obviously, where the boats are.
Yeah, but I don't want to get
basically
our
just hid it
boat
behind
as
a
close to
loop.
theirs. So I want to park our ship, like at the very, very beginning of the illusionary wall. So that we can just get off and walk over to the beach. Or sneak over to the beach. I don't want to drive our ship in there and be like, hey, we're here!
Getting close enough to be able to walk would require your ship going through the illusion.
Okay.
It's far enough out that there's no easy way in.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I would just fly back to us on the boat then.
All right. The Raven flies back towards the boat, and you adjust your will back into your own eyes.
Oh, so trippy.
You good there?
Yes, it's just really weird.
One thing, would you have extensively scouted out like these other passes, or just kind of had a look at them from a distance?
Maybe the closest one. Gone kind of do like a loop around, starting at the bay, going through the sunken barrel, and then looping back through here.
Just give me another perception check then with the 1d20 plus 3.
Yeah.
There are more of those flying creatures
Mhm.
positioned around like the edge of the mountains, watching all of those passes.
Okay. Well, I still think if we're able to get up
And
the cliff
you would also
sides-
be able to see. I'll give you on the natural 20. You'd be able to see the ones at the bay that you're at are fixated on your guys' ship.
Oh shit.
They know we're here.
Yep.
They're fixated on your ship, but they're also not doing anything at the moment aside from watching.
So if we just quote unquote leave,
Yeah.
maybe we just got lost in our reading our roadmap.
Mm-hmm.
He could also like see through them, maybe.
Yeah, I think if I would have noticed right away that they were fixated on our ship, I would have just like said to no one in general, perhaps, they're looking at us. We should probably move.
So we would have turned around and at least started sailing away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will allow you
yeah.
guys to have done that. Started moving your ship off while he was scouting.
So when you say lots of undead,
Lots. But I think if we make our way up the cliff and actually get to the top of the cliff, we can deal, hopefully, with the scary new additions to his undead army. But I don't know. I also don't
There's
really
a
know
lot
what
of
they are.
imps.
Yeah.
Do you think this is where he's based at?
I don't know.
With the concentration of undead, why is there boats here, and why do they need boats?
and all the sentries around.
Yeah.
You do know that he has used boats before.
Yeah.
If you remember when he took the adamantine from Backbreak, you know that he sailed in boats with a bunch of minions to Ironhall and essentially like walked through the town.
Right. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get around going in there. He's probably there. This is probably his stronghold.
Do we alert the Viceroy and say, hey, start a fucking war? Or do we get these pirates on to like, because they have like ships, and like somebody needs to do that and like take them out. We can't do that ourselves.
No. Well, we could sneak in there and just start them on fire.
Those fucking things already saw us though.
Yeah.
I mean, get off the ship and sneak in there. I'm talking about a land operation here.
Right. And again, when you said a lot of undead, were you talking like a couple hundred or like 30?
Working on the boats themselves, you probably only saw a few dozen. But you definitely would have seen quite a number, and particularly you would have seen the more powerful forms of undead. Like most of the ones working on the ships were like regular old skeletons, whereas guarding the entrance of the barrow, you saw like some slightly more powerful undead warriors.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of sheer numbers, there's probably more of them right now near Red Hook. But it seems like the ones here are more powerful. And definitely these ones are operating with a specific purpose.
I mean, I just don't know if we have any other choice. We've wasted a lot of time already, and I think we're pretty much. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're all pretty much at full strength.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be much more ready than we are now.
Probably not.
I think
So
tell the Viceroy.
3 of you have used your flask since the last
Yeah.
long rest.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know
I
if
don't
we
know
have
what
a
your
long breath
guys's-
worst of time.
I don't know what your guys' hit dice situation is or spell slots or all that.
They're
Hit
not
dice are low,
great,
spells
but
are
they're
good.
better than they could be.
How far away did they look to completing the ships?
Well, they had a bunch of smaller ships that obviously work already. It looks like they're building a bigger ship, which is maybe like half completed.
Compared to our size, our ship,
Bigger than your ship.
does it have sails and weapons on it already?
No, it
Or
didn't
they-
seem to have sails or weapons. It would be more accurate to describe it as like a gigantic raft.
It's just
Oh,
used to
okay.
transport people.
Mm.
Probably bringing his big bulky friends to the
Yep.
warfront.
Yep. So our options are what? Go and fight these things.
Well, okay. So if we try to do a stealth mission in there and light their big raft on fire and then presumably start picking off their bulkier foes, we don't have a way off the island. Unless we steal one of their little ships. Or a couple of their little ships. Because I don't know that this is just a once in, once out thing. This might be a do a quick run through, escape, rest up, come back in for round 2. Especially with all those sentry bird human things posted all around the island.
Yeah.
We don't know what else is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. It might be worth seeing if we can get some more naval support.
Could we dismantle their boats and buy time?
See, that's what I was almost thinking. If we started
I
lobbing
was
flaming
thinking
ballista,
giant like shark and just go in the port, like go in there and just destroy all the things from the
and
bottom.
just sink them, that could
Yeah.
work.
Like what Ingrid did earlier.
I mean,
I don't hate that idea. That'll at least
The
take care of
ship,
the ships.
the large ship that was being constructed wasn't in the water.
Okay.
You build it on land and then you slide it into the water when it's
Mhm.
done.
But then if we take out all their smaller ships, then we have no way to escape unless our ship is on dock or on port.
Yeah. It was a thought.
it was a good thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if we don't succeed at doing that, how badly it will accelerate his timeline.
I was gonna put that in the message to the Viceroy if we should delay their progress.
I mean, so what do you guys think about shooting like flaming ballista at the big raft on land? Try to at least take that down.
You
Get it.
guys have way to make your ballista bolts flaming?
Are they metal or are
I
they wooden?
mean,
I mean, they're wooden holes with big metal tips. Like a giant spear.
my range is 90 feet for immolation.
I mean, we could go get some friggin' tar.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
take us long to sail here.
It wouldn't.
When passing by Ardell, what did that look like?
Ardell seemed fine. Ardell's a really small, just kind of like offshoot of the big farming community around Lothfield.
Do you think that being a port city, that they might have tar for fixing boats or something?
Seems like a pretty common material that they might be having.
Yeah, we could drop by Ardell real quick, don't even have to go back to Baldurin. Get tar.
Why not?
We've got torches.
Unless we have another idea that we want to do. That's just all that I can think of to do while on our ship instead of
Yeah.
going by land right away.
Hmm.
No, I think
That
would
also
be a
then-
good idea.
That also then alerts them to us. Obviously,
Knowing where they're at.
yeah, if they don't already know, but
Yeah, well, I mean, it would look
Yeah,
like
at
we're
least-
sailing away.
yeah, if we start shooting and then run away, they'll know that we're going to come back. They know that was just the
Exactly.
first round. They can then prepare.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I should message the Viceroy. Say we're going to delay their progress.
Wait, we should figure out what our plan is for sure first.
Yeah.
If I don't think we do disable their boats then, because then they will know where we are. You know, we know they're there. We know where the boat is. You're right. It will speed up the
It
timeline.
will give away that you are aware of where he's at if you decide to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we know something more than he does. Essentially.
That's right. So
let's keep it that way, just for a little bit longer.
okay, so we should, yeah, not attack until we have more water support. Right?
Right.
And then
I think we need
we'll
to let the
go in.
Viceroy know that this is the port where they are at.
Yeah.
We could also get to, well, someone could be polymorphed into a flying being and that can ferry us up to the mountains. If we wanted to take that stealth approach
But they were
without being
flying
too
creatures
close
there.
right away.
They were
Right, but we can
creatures.
we can just take care of a couple of those, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a
You
giant
guys
fleet
have
would
never fought them before.
ambiguous.
You don't know how hard they are or easy they are to defeat.
Or even if they will fight, or if they'll just run back to alert everyone.
Yeah, it's an unknown to you guys at this point.
I hate to say do nothing, but we should probably do nothing.
Explain.
We know where they're at. We know what they're building. We know that they have guards stationed around the island that can fly. We get naval support, which will take time to get. Then we can have them attack the harbor that we know about, while we attack one of the passes with less guards. And we're able to sneak behind while their attention is all on the port.
We could use our navy as a distraction.
Exactly. Do you think we could get Yolheim and Balderun to agree to help us both together?
Maybe.
I mean, we don't have the king messing with that anymore, and
No.
Yolheim's also quite a distance away. They're not in immediate danger, and they haven't been very cooperative in the past.
thinking of their naval fleet. It's
I know.
probably
I was
there.
thinking that too, because they're fucking monsters. Be good to have them on our side.
They would get Balderun off their back for a while, and Balderun would then not have to worry about Yolheim for a while.
I don't think Yolheim's worried about Balderun though.
Yeah, Yolheim and Balderun have had quote-unquote good relations for a little while. They just kind of... They were antagonistic to each other in the past, and these days they just kind of each stick to their own business, and they've got, trade. That's about it.
That's where I stand on that, though. We get a navy, we get the navy to attack the port, we go in around the back. Sneak in.
Yeah.
While most of the horde is attacking at the port. That's a
Thoughts,
lot of
Ingrid?
undead for just us to deal with.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't see another way that
No. Not
would
with,
lead to us not dying.
I mean, other than just going for it. And we die, we die.
So this
But-
army. Okay, sorry, backtracking a little bit. This army that's at Red Hook, they're just chilling, right?
You haven't received any word of them advancing yet.
So they're probably waiting for this giant raft to get done, and they're gonna either land at Ardle or Caldwell,
Codwell, probably.
and then they're gonna march together to get here, go through Lothfield, and then to Balderun. That's probably what they're planning.
Or Red Hook is attacking from land, and these ones here are going to go sail around and go to the ports and attack
They
the
could, yeah.
city. And just attack at all sides.
And avoid the gate entirely.
Exactly.
mm,
Well, the gate would still be protected from the
Presumably,
land.
a bunch of zombies and skeletons aren't aware that you've put, a repelling ritual on a gate miles away from where they are.
When in the past when we've fought larger groups of undead, they haven't made strategic plans, right? They've kind of just all walked together and fought.
Yeah, the undead don't seem to display any large amount of intelligence.
Okay, yeah, I would imagine this group then would land at either Caldwell or Ardle.
Mm-hmm.
Because these vessels aren't war vessels, they're just transportation.
Yeah, you didn't see when you were flying a Raven over, you didn't see them, having any ballista or anything on these ships.
Right.
We
They're
could
just meat shields.
we could also wait for them to leave and then just sink their ship.
That's true too.
That is true too.
Like we could hide around this island and we could just keep this Raven watching. I don't know how long it's going to take him to finish this boat though.
Well,
The
we've
Raven
got 24
only lasts for
hours.
24 hours, and you would assume that the boat is a project that's going to be taking longer than a day.
You said it was about half done.
Yeah.
Would Ingrid have gotten any sense of how long they have been working on it, or like what type of progress they're making currently on it?
With her past boating experience.
It seems pretty slow because they're using shitty materials and they're undead, so they lack crafting expertise.
I would hope so.
It's kind of like, birds making a huge nest set of sticks. They're just kind of hoping that if they stick enough shit together, it's going to work.
If we were closer to this raft being done, I would say we wait. But I don't want to wait like 3, 4, or 5 days for them to finish this thing.
Well, that could be the time that we use to get a navy.
I suppose we could also try to go and just eviscerate the Red Hook army.
Yeah.
But then again, that might tip them off.
A, that's going to tip them off. B, it's going to deplete our resources. It then might make them at the Sunken Barrow work faster and or cut their progress and just say, fuck it, let's go. And then attack sooner. And or they may just relocate. Be like...
Yeah, he could just make the army again.
Uh-huh.
I say we attack the head of the snake. We just focus our attack here.
After we get
because
support.
Everything else is a distraction and we'll lose resources.
Yep.
Okay. So we get a navy to attack as a distraction and then we sneak in?
Yep.
Or at least let the navy weaken them and then we do whatever.
Whichever one looks like it's going to be the best option for us.
Yeah. I'll send a message to the Viceroy then.
Are we going back to Baldurin right now, or are we hanging out here?
I mean, let's...
I mean, they already see our ships, right?
Yeah.
We should probably act like we were just sailing around the island casually.
Yep.
On a 3-hour tour.
Yeah.
It did take about 3 hours to circumnavigate.
3-hour tour.
Alright, let's go back to Baldurin.
Alright.
Do you want
guys
me to send
continue
a
sailing up?
message?
Yeah, just let me know what your message to the Viceroy is.
Yeah, we probably should give him a couple of hours notice. He knew that we were going to the Isle of Dusk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this,
Pretty sure you guys told him.
Yeah, this would make sense then. Okay. Inlet by Kendall used as base of operations, illusionary wall, boats being made, naval resources required to keep them busy while we go to Sunken Barrow. I should have said we're headed back, but he'll figure that out in a few hours. Here,
Okay, trying to formulate his response here. Good to know that you found something useful. Not sure what resources we have for a navy. Come back and we'll discuss this.
Perfect. He's expecting us back.
You guys sail back into port at Balderon as we're getting in towards like later afternoon, heading into evening here.
Straight to the Viceroy.
Mm-hmm.
You guys immediately head over to the Viceroy's residence, up the stairs to the left, into his office. Describe in further detail what it was you saw.
While
yeah, I mean, I
the
would
bulk-
tell him.
Yeah, the bulk of their like small army is at Red Hook, but they've got some heavy hitters at the Isle of Dusk, building a giant raft to bring them there, bring them here, probably. Yeah, there's some scary monsters there that we haven't seen before too.
Mm-hmm.
Your presence there went undetected by these forces?
Well,
They saw a
Hopefully.
ship. They didn't seem to be alerted about us being
concerned.
there or concerned, yeah. But they definitely were keeping an eye on the ship as we were passing through, or passing by.
I think we played it nonchalantly enough that we'll be okay.
The element of surprise may still be in our favor then.
Mm-hmm.
Don't exactly have a navy to send with you, though. You've largely relied on the ships of Seaweb Fortress to guard us against the pirates in the past. Seems
But
unlikely that we'd be able to get help from them.
Those guys are assholes.
Perhaps we could acquire another crew, like the ship that I acquired for you. Bound to be some other freelance vessels.
I think any favors you have that you can call in, this was the time.
I might be able to persuade the Crone if we want to try to get some Northlanders.
Be almost an entire day's trip to go back there, though.
How long is it going to take you to get all your... I mean, how long do you think it's going to take you? Hours?
Probably longer. Took a significant amount of time for me to acquire you the ship that I did.
So we would, in theory, have time to go back there.
And come back.
Do you think by the end of tomorrow you can have at least one more vessel?
Can't guarantee anything.
I think we can head right over to the north, and then whatever you can find, just let us know. We'll be back here tomorrow night.
Give us a day and a half, I say.
Yeah.
At least.
Very well, I'll get started on this immediately. I suggest you set sail.
Yeah,
Pete holds up the setting stone for a second. I'll be in touch as soon as I hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. And we leave.
You guys rush out and go back onto your ship. We're fucking leaving again. We just got back.
Sorry.
It was only a 3-hour tour. We're going on for a longer one now.
I mean, that was longer than 3 hours. We were gone for like 8.
Are you complaining?
No, I like being on the sea, but it's just a bit weird constantly going back to port and then out again.
Well. So
Yeah,
we
well,
got
this
to
is-
do.
These are kind of weird circumstances.
Fair enough. Where are we headed?
To Yolheim.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back up in the cold.
Not all the way
Not-
back up.
No icebergs this time.
Still fucking cold up there.
That's
Still
why we
have
bought
warm
you
clothes.
winter jackets.
It's okay. We'll only be up there for a day.
No, we're doing the same thing. We're just gonna pop into port and then leave immediately.
Eh.
Yeah, probably like within reason, of course, but we don't have a lot of time to spend up there.
All right, let's be about it then.
Yep.
And you guys set sail.
Are we gonna sleep on the ship then? Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah,
Well,
you'll have to. You'll be sailing
yeah.
through the night.
All right.
Unless
How
you
long
guys wanna. You're gonna be arriving like early in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, we'd sleep on the ship and then we
Yeah.
wake up and be there.
Short rest.
Yeah, you guys will get another short rest in.
Woohoo.
God damn it.
It's a D8 now, remember?
For the spells.
Oh, you're doing spells?
Yeah. Hey, I got one of my 5th levels back. I'll take it.
Everybody is get the free D8 hit points from me though.
Do we have to use hit dice to get that free D8?
I don't think so, but I will double check the exact wording on it.
Well, it's a Song of Rest. So you guys get a D8 from that too.
I feel like Gilderoy needs to make a performance
God
check as
fucking
well
damn it.
when he's
Yeah,
performs
so
Song
you
of
just
Rest.
give people the hit points during a short rest is all.
Why am I doing a performance check?
to see how good the Song of Rest actually is.
Well, Song of Rest. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of a short rest. Oh. Yeah, if they regain hit points by using hit dice, then they also get the 1d6 hit points.
Oh, it does have that in there?
For Song of Rest, unless it's something else.
Song of Rest.
Okay, yeah, it does say that. Let's see, you only get the extra 1 hit point if you rolled any hit dice to recover hit points.
I got one more lucky back, guys. Yay!
Ah, yeah.
I've got 2 now.
Do you not just get all those back automatically?
No. With the rest rolls, I get 1
It's
back. A
1
day.
per day.
Ooh.
I get all my bardic inspirations back.
If it was
for
3
rest.
per day, it would be so ridiculous in the system.
Be nice though. I miss having them.
You've still got them, you just gotta store them up a little bit.
Yeah, I can't use it to mess with you guys anymore.
Thank God. Okay.
Right, Is anybody else have anything to do, or are we good with the rolling on the short rest?
Go ahead. I'll
I'm
figure
good.
out my shit.
I'm good.
I am good.
You just switching out some spells, or what?
Yeah, figuring out what my spells are. I just came back.
Okay. During the night, Walrus, you have a familiar dream that starts in a tavern in Waterdeep. You suddenly remember where you've had this dream before, and all those memories come flooding back to you.
Barnababy, where you at, boy?
As you think that, a waiter walks past you, and you kind of follow out the waiter with your eyes. He's walking towards the table, and there sits Barnabas with a bunch of food on the table. Mr. Walrus! Pleasure to see you again.
May I have a sit with you?
I've been most honored by your presence.
I go have a sit with him. And start eating and drinking.
By all means, help yourself.
That was the plan. To what do I owe this dream pleasure?
He, holds up a finger. He's like, now, remember the rules. Food first, discussion later.
Good man. I go to town on some mutton.
You
A big
can
old bread bowl.
imagine in your head whatever you want the waiter to bring you, and it'll happen. You don't have to settle for mere mutton.
Yeah, I get some gravy in there and some stuffing. Go kind of for a Thanksgiving dinner here.
As soon as you start thinking about Thanksgiving, waiter shows up with an entire turkey and every single side dish family sized on a huge platter.
Just going to town, having a good time.
And it is around that time, Gilderoy, you suddenly are having a dream as well, where you find yourself outside the door of a tavern.
Oh shit!
Oh dear lord.
The street all around you is kind of dark and empty, but the lights in this tavern seem to be on, and there's definitely people inside you can hear. Sounds like they're having a feast.
I'll go in.
You open the door of this tavern, and you see a whole bunch of waiters moving around. The walls are lined with these bright red banners. And you see Walrus sitting at a table eating food, and across from him is this large John Goodman looking fella with red skin and horns coming out of his head. And they're just having a meal.
I'll go move over to Walrus. Be like, what are we doing here?
Gilderoy?
Yes? Who's your, look him up and down, friend?
This is Barnabas.
And you see Barnabas is basically finished with his meal, at that point, exactly as you're asking that question is when he pops, the last little bit of chicken in his mouth. And he stands
Just like
up,
that.
chair grinds as he stands up and goes, Mr. Gilderoy Lockhart, I presume? He holds out his hand.
Shake it.
I'm honored to meet an author your station, Mr. Lockhart.
Oh, thank you. It's
May
nice
I
to meet a
just say,
fan.
I feel like if you were to come to visit my realm at some point, you would see some things that may have not been in your books yet that I guarantee would boost your sales.
It is tempting. It is very tempting. We'll put it on the list of things to do.
I should be honored to be included on such a list, Mr. Lockhart. Now, if it wouldn't be too much trouble here, I was wondering if you might be interested in a little business proposition here. And he kind of points down at the table, and suddenly there's a piece of paper that wasn't there before. Your associate here has already signed on to this here endeavor.
Look at Oris.
I kind of just shrug, like, mm-hmm.
Did
Yep.
you read the whole thing?
I did. Of course I did.
Insight check.
I mean, I literally rolled investigation checks to read the thing.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's right. All right. What is this proposition you have then?
Well, suffice it to say that there are certain details which I'm unable to divulge to you until you sign the first part of these negotiations, for reasons underlined within the text there.
Glancing at it, it hasn't changed since I signed it, correct?
Nope. When you signed it, there was already blank spaces to the side for, leaving space for Gilderoy and Vedita and Ingrid to all sign it.
Okay.
And if you look at it, Gilderoy, you'll see that the first section where Oris's first signature is a little bit where it's talking about, consenting to giving Barnos the ability to alter your memory such that you don't remember the content of these conversations outside of the dream state as a means of keeping this operation clandestine.
Yeah, Gilderoy, I have spoken with Barnabas a few times now, but that first little bit there basically just means that you won't remember it outside, so...
Until such appointed time as the operation is concluded, at which point the memory alterations shall be completely disabused.
And I'll be able to get the publishing rights for this as well, I'm assuming.
That was not stipulated in the contract, which means the answer is not no.
But it's also not a yes.
If an answer is not no, you can interpret that however you wish to, Mr. Lockhart.
And Walrus, you trust him?
I do. He knows a friend of ours. Well,
You're-
quote-unquote friend.
Is this your friend, quote, unquote?
Quote, yes.
I believe the
quote.
associate to which he is referring is the one who so recently departed the place in which you find yourself.
Lulu.
Yes, most definitely yes.
I am not at
Oh.
liberty to say at the moment whether or not that answer is true or false.
Don't like signing contracts that I do not have my lawyer present.
If you give me $5, I'll be your lawyer.
If you wish
Boris-
for an advocate to be provided for you, do you have one in mind?
I do not. Not that we could bring here. I'm going to... see. Can I do another investigation check on it to make sure that there's not like a loophole that's gonna fuck us over later?
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation check as you read over the first part of this contract. 23. Everything seems to be more or less as he described it. The stipulations are pretty clear in that your memory is just going to be altered so you don't remember the content of these dreams, and that once you have concluded the second part of this contract, then the job will be considered done, at which point your memory will be completely restored.
So if I sign this first part, you'll tell me what's going on, and then I can sign the second part.
That is the means by which these negotiations have to proceed, I'm afraid, Mr. Lockhart.
Just checking. Gilderoy will sign the biggest, most obnoxious signature possible on the first part.
As you sign your name to the first part, you don't see this, but Walrus does. A little red mark appears on your forehead and then vanishes. And you take 4 psychic damage as you get
I
this
just
slight
restored
reel
4.
of pain.
Fuck.
Well, I do apologize for that. It's a
That was not a part of the deal.
slight after effect that I'm afraid was overlooked. When this was initially drafted, it was only drafted for Mr. Walrus here, and being already inclined towards our organization, he does not suffer that ill effect.
All right.
Can that be avoided for our other
future.
2 friends if they decide to join?
I'm afraid we would have to amend the entire contract for that, and that seems like a rather large bit of red tape to wade through for such a minor inconvenience.
Well, do you have the capability to heal Gilderoy for the physical and mental damage you've just done?
He gives a little sly smile and says, "Now that seems like a fair bit of good faith." And
It does.
he will place his hand on your chest, and you regain those hit points.
Yay!
My sincerest apologies, Mr. Lockhart.
I am thrilled
quite
that we
alright.
can work together outside of legally binding means. Sure.
I am nothing if not a gentleman, Mr. Lockhart.
I can see that. I appreciate it. So, what is this second part of the deal that we are embarking on?
Well, now that you have agreed to this, we can get down to brass tacks. And he goes back to his chair, slams down into it, and he starts going into the long explanation that he already went with Walrus, talking about how the wizard's realm is essentially powered by the devil art of using souls as energy. And the contract that was signed initially was that he would bring all these people into this demiplane that he was making, and inevitably a bunch of them are going to die. The devils will convert all of those souls into energy. A certain amount will be used to keep the realm stable as an energy source, and Hell gets to keep all the excess. But the wording of the contract was such that Hell only gets to keep the excess, and the realm has gotten to a point of complexity and instability that there no longer is any excess. And Hell wants out of the contract. So they are enlisting you guys as freelance agents to act on their behalf in trying to weasel their way out of this. So the basic stipulation is that you guys are going to continue to work together, exchange information, do a little intelligence gathering. Obviously, since you guys aren't aware of the content of these dreams, they can't ask you to go, like, investigate something for them, but they're going to keep working on things on their end, and if they reach a point where they think, okay, we have something we can do, that's when they're going to, activate their sleeper agents.
Sleeper agents.
They're gonna say their Winter Soldier code words.
Yep. At which point, you guys are going to remember all the content of these dreams, and it will be expected that you guys are going to act in their interest and do what they tell you to do. And the end goal being to get Hell out of this contract, which is probably going to result in the dissolution of this wizard's plane. And the deal on their end is that when all this happens, they are going to serve as the extraction team to get you guys out of there so you don't die in a portal implosion.
Let's get the hell out of this contract.
Now, what happens in the case of premature death? Are our souls forfeit to the hells as well? Or is it going to be powered into this world?
I'm afraid that they most likely would be converted into power to help maintain this realm, as that's part of the stipulation of the original contract, as you are one of the souls within the realm.
Could this contract circumvent that?
Unfortunately not. The original contract takes precedence. In order to get around that, the wizard who was the party in the original contract would have to be present for the negotiations, and I think we can both agree that we do not wish for him to be here.
No. Just thought I'd ask. We've gotten to a lot of close calls as of late.
You are a most astute negotiator, Mr. Lockhart.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
How often does Hell go into contract with a being, and then Hell goes out of their way to get out of the contract through
Negate
less
it.
than legal means?
If you find a loophole in the contract, well, then you're not exactly doing it illegally, are you? You are using the wording of that contract.
Precisely.
I would have thought a thief such as yourself would understand the technicalities of that, Mr. Walrus.
Well, I suppose without seeing the contract that you guys signed with this wizard, I don't know the full. I wouldn't be able to find the loopholes.
You can see he lets out a big sigh and is like, don't even get me started on that original contract. That was an abomination written by an idiot. It's been a headache of our realm for quite some time now.
I'm assuming he was fired promptly.
Probably tortured and killed.
That's what I mean.
Oh, I expect there would be a great deal of misery in store for him, but unfortunately he has expatriated himself to the wizard's domain and remains there yet.
You know who it is.
Oh shit.
Huh. Well, it's
Well,
probably
this
what I would
person-
have done, not gonna lie.
Yeah, if this person needs to be disappeared, that might be fun.
I
Well-
will confess that aside from extracting you, one of the key things that I'm hoping to achieve, should we manage to break our way out of this contract, is to bring him back.
Well,
Examples must be made out of people who do shoddy work, don't you agree?
agreed,
Mhm.
absolutely. Absolutely. While I am slightly disappointed that I wasn't the first choice.
Well, you misunderstand, Mr. Lockhart. Walrus was already somewhat of a member of our organization tangentially, so it was courtesy for us to extend the invitation to him first, despite your high station.
Okay, okay.
I give a side eye to Barnabas.
He turns such that Gilderoy can't see it, and he winks at you.
I keep like eating because my mouth is just full probably throughout most of this.
Can I do a perception check to see if I notice that?
Sure.
Nope.
Yeah, you didn't catch it?
But makes sense, makes sense. Lulu and all. Makes sense. Well,
So do you agree to those terms, Mr. Lockhart? He gives you a smile and pushes the paper towards you, waiting for you to sign the second part.
As far as I'm concerned, Gilderoy, this is the only way out of this demi-plane is by, them destroying it essentially.
and we have to convince the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do believe I've made some progress with my intentions of bringing Ingrid on board, though Miss Vedita has still proven somewhat of an enigma for my research.
Tell her she can get rid of her dog. That should help.
I do beg your pardon.
She has a dog that doesn't like us. She summons a dog. It's
Miss
evil
Histich
looking
neglected
thing.
to mention anything about a hound.
We tried to
you-
forget it.
Provide some further information, Mr. Lockhart?
Let me sign this first, and then I'll give you more.
By all means. He pulls out a pen.
Oh, Goldur already has one.
Oh, if you prefer your
Always.
own writing implement,
I
by all
always
means,
come
you are
prepared.
the author.
Always prepared. So he'll sign it in big, again, giant, obnoxious signature. Maybe signs over a little bit of walruses.
There is no secondary pain applied to you because you've already signed the part of the
Initial.
contract that deals with your memory.
Sweet. Alright. So, Vedita. She has this, I want to say it's like a hellhoundy looking thing. She'll summon it.
I
And then it
think
will
if
just
it were a
attack.
hellhound, I would be aware of that. That would be rather within my domain.
I'm just saying what it might look like. Because sometimes it just looks like a giant black mass of evil.
Yeah.
And it will attack the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
Normally she
for the most part,
panics.
it's almost never under control.
She'll summon it, she panics,
Oh,
and then
there
it
are
attacks me.
times when the beast is within her control. Is that what you're saying?
Rarely.
We could say it's up to like the roll of the dice, whether it is or not.
It's a 50-50 shot. Flip a coin.
I would say that would prove rather interesting motivation for one such as herself, perhaps. Is there anything else along those lines that might be useful in our negotiations?
Did you tell her she can change faces?
Yes.
Did you tell her that? Okay.
I am aware that she is a changed.
Other than that, you got Ingrid down, I'm assuming.
Oh, I do believe I have
Ingrid.
that one squared away. I
Ingrid
think we'll
Vedita.
bring her in here as soon as we're concluded with our discussion.
Senya, whichever name she's going with today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh.
He's on board with all that.
Okay. That's all I've got on Vedita.
Well, that
Gifted
should
with
prove
art.
rather helpful, I think. If not, I was hoping to bank upon the luck that perhaps if I get the three of you to sign it, that maybe peer pressure alone will suffice as motivation if the offer of helping her escape is not enough.
I would almost not mention to Ingrid that I'm signed it. That
I
might.
mean, your name is literally all over the contract.
It would be rather difficult for me to hide your glorious signature, Mr. Lockhart.
I mean, just don't mention it until she signs it. Because I don't
What?
think she likes me.
It's
That's
like
all I'm
a big sheet of paper. There's 4 spots. People to sign. You can clearly see there's Walrus's signature. There's your signature. There's a blank spot for Ingrid. There's a blank spot for Vedita.
Conveniently place a mug over my signature? Plate? Saucer? I just think that if Ingrid knows I signed it, she knows that, probably shouldn't trust him. Because, me.
He turns to Walrus. You think that's true, Mr. Walrus?
I don't think trying to trick Ingrid will help our cause.
More of
She
a
will-
straight shooter?
Yep, she will likely see through it, and that will make her more mad. I think
That's
being
true.
direct and honest is the best way to go.
Well, no sense beating around the bush about it then. Everybody get your Sunday best on. And Ingrid,
Ha ha!
Oh shit.
you suddenly find
Okay.
yourself in a dream standing outside of a tavern.
Do I recognize the tavern?
Have you ever been to Waterdeep?
I'm a pirate. Yeah, I've been to Waterdeep.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck.
You might recognize it. The whole city behind you.
Immediately
dark
get
and empty.
shifty.
It's bizarre how dark and empty the whole city is around you. Aside from this tavern with the lights on, and you can see through the window, like, shapes moving inside.
Do I have my weapons?
If you imagine yourself being armed, then you're armed.
Yeah, I'm armed.
What do you do?
Is there anything alluring about going into the interior of this inn other than there are people there and there are no people outside?
Not particularly.
Alright, you're lucky I rolled 14. She goes inside.
You all see Ingrith walk into the tavern.
I wave her down.
I would
For a
do
moment
too.
there, I was worried that you might not join us, Miss Ingrith.
What did you two do now?
It was him. I'll point to Walrus.
It was
So
him.
that
and I
means it
point
was
to
both of
Barnabas.
you. Okay.
Guilty as charged, Walrus did not initiate this. I was rather the one who contacted him.
Why?
You wanna have a seat? Have some food?
No.
Are you certain you can get anything you want within a dream? Anything you've been dreaming about?
Not food or drink.
I imagine a full cooked like baby alligator.
Suddenly, a waiter walks over with a fully cooked baby alligator.
See? Anything.
And might I add that since this is not technically reality, you may feel free to consume whatever you like and there will be no consequences. But that's
No,
rather
I'm
just the
good.
fun side of it. This is actually a more serious discussion. I just prefer to keep the social atmosphere more light and pleasant. Forgive me, I have neglected to introduce myself. He stands up from his seat. My name is Barnabas. He walks over and holds out his hand.
Cautiously shake it.
He takes your hand in his big, beefy red hand. Pleasure to make the acquaintance of a warrior such as yourself.
Uh-huh.
Please, would you honor us with your presence at the table?
I don't really think I have a choice.
Oh, you do have a choice. I am nothing if not a gentleman, and we devils operate on strict understandings of the law. Nothing can be done without choice.
Kind of glances over at Walrus, who seems to be the ringleader of this.
I'm just eating a baby alligator.
God. Okay. I'll humor you.
Now, would you prefer to get straight down to it, or would you not rather enjoy yourself for a bit first?
I mean, just tell me what you want.
Straight to business, I like it. Very direct. Well, what I've got right here, and he pushes a sheet of paper towards you, is a pre-negotiation sort of stipulation here, which unfortunately I will have to have you sign before I can give you the finer details of things.
Stop eating that alligator for a second.
Huh?
I am trying to exchange significant looks with you. Stop eating the fucking alligator.
I put it down.
Thank you.
As you can see, and he taps his finger on the two signatures, your compatriots have already signed this portion of it, and you may read the documentation for yourself. I think it's rather self-explanatory, even for those without a extensive legal mind.
Did you just call me stupid?
If you interpret it that way, I assure you I meant no offense. It was more of a commentary on the fact that people such as myself who spend a great deal of time with contracts almost end up speaking an entirely different language because of it.
Whips the contract out of his hand, and like both boots go up on the table, and I'm reading that word for word.
The first part of it is, it's written in simple enough language that you can get the gist of it.
And I have to sign this before you tell me why I should sign this.
No, there is a secondary part of the contract which your compatriots have also signed on to, but the details of that cannot be discussed until you sign that first. for reasons as stipulated within the text. And you can see there that it, it like says it without saying it, that there's, details of secrecy that cannot be revealed to the contractee until they sign for reasons of, secrecy.
National security.
Secret
Yeah.
reasons. They're secrets. Secrets.
I'm sorry, the first part is just basically you'll forget everything.
Yeah, the first part of the contract is just consenting to having your memory altered such that you do not remember the content of these dreams outside of these dreams,
Okay.
so that you can't be questioned to reveal information.
I'm gonna snatch that fancy pen from Gilderoy.
Very fine writing implement. I understand if you prefer Mr. Lockhart's to mine.
No, it's more just it would piss him off.
It does.
Yeah.
She didn't even wipe off her hands before she used it.
Nope. I'm gonna have to
I know
sanitize.
where my hands have been. They haven't been touching dead baby alligator.
That is quite weird.
Your loss.
Apparently.
I would suggest that it is not so much dead as cooked. When one is eating chicken, one doesn't refer to it as dead chicken, but cooked chicken.
But is it dead?
Better be dead.
It would be difficult to cook something without killing it, I should think.
I wish I was dead.
No, that's torture. It's not difficult. It's just difficult emotionally.
Oh, dear
Okay,
Lord.
I've signed your contract. What do you want?
Until the point at which it is cooked, I'm not sure that it counts. Or until the point at which it is dead, I'm not sure it counts as cooked.
Are you sure?
I don't
Depending
wanna know
upon
why
your
you do
culture,
this.
perhaps. I don't mean to assume that you're not a cannibal.
Wow. Alright, let's... Okay. What do you want?
You signed the first part of it?
Yes.
You take 2 psychic damage. And then he immediately puts his hand in your chest and heals you and goes,
It's
"My
okay, he's
apologies
taking
for
care of you.
that unintended side effect.
Mm-hmm.
The contract was initially written up, it was only meant for Mr. Walrus, and that wouldn't have affected a man such as him.
Fascinating.
Now, as to the secondary part, and he slides over the other sheet of paper and starts explaining the same thing that he told Walrus and Gilderoy.
Mm-hmm.
I will not reiterate for sake of time unless there's any details you wanted me to go over.
Basically, either we continue being this wizard's bitch, or we try to get out.
Because we're not getting out any other way.
You
Because you've
guys
already
believe
seen.
this?
I believe that this
After
is
he
the
killed that
only
other
option we
group?
have right now. Yeah, you saw how much he barely used to fuck us up earlier.
And he killed that other group that were more experienced than us. Just like
That literally brought you back to life. Yeah,
not a second thought. And Sneed made it seem like it was a normal occurrence. Who's to say that's not going to be us?
this wizard's proven that he's kind of a dick. Barnabas has just been helpful, and look at this food.
I mean,
You
if
needn't rely solely on your compatriots' ideas here. Just ask yourself, do you think it likely that you are ever to escape that wizard's domain without some sort of outside help?
No. Doesn't mean I trust the outside help, though.
I understand your hesitation. If the offer of safety alone is not enough, there are other things that I might propose to garner your interest. And he leans forward and goes, but I will warn you that if you say no to the first offer, it will be off the table in the future, and you may not like the second offer as much.
Okay.
Like, you're signing, okay?
No. Like, I understand. I'm fascinated to hear what you think you've got on me.
Shall I consider that an official declination of the first offer?
Of merely just escaping the wizard's household? Sure.
Indeed.
What else is in it for me, though? Chances are I'm probably gonna die either way, so...
I mean, what's in it for you for just being this wizard's bitch? Just
Amusement?
survival, maybe?
Sure.
Wouldn't you be amused to watch this wizard get just fucked?
Not quite sure I care either way.
Yeah, so then sign. If you don't care either way.
Can I insight check Barnabas?
Sure.
Oof.
I mean, like, I'm a pirate. I've probably had
is-
shady dealings before.
He is difficult to read being a devil, but you definitely would get the sense on an 18. He's got another trick up his sleeve that he thinks is going to work. And he wants to give you ample time to agree to this first before he has to bring that out.
Well, unfortunately, in my culture, well, unfortunately for you, I should say, in my culture, death is of no consequence. Death is preordained. We walk our destiny. So, my life is not really something that...
But you are aware that, given the fact that you are within the wizard's demiplane, if you perish here, you will not be going to your foretold golden halls. You will be condensed down into little soul energy and used to keep power in this place.
I mean, it's adorable that someone from the hells is going to try to talk to me about my religion and my faith and my culture, but by all
I
means,
did endeavor
continue.
to learn some about you before I brought you into these negotiations, Miss Ingrid.
Well,
He doesn't need to know about your culture, though. All he needs to know is what happens to people when they die here.
well, you did your homework on my culture, sure. Who says I need to go to Golden Halls?
Are you officially declining then?
Yes.
God.
Very well. I might ask
Uh,
you a question. When's the last time you've spoken to your brother, Miss Ingrid?
I assume it's been years.
It's up to you, but it's probably been a while, yeah.
Why?
Are you aware that he has, as of recent, had an increase in fortune? He is destined to marry somewhat of a noble house.
Good for him. That'll probably get a sword in his gut.
I suppose it's entirely possible. You wouldn't happen to know how he came into that good fortune, would you?
Well, considering I retrieved my memory but a few weeks ago, if that. No. No, I wouldn't.
Well, it so happens that I do. See, he found himself rather down on his luck and decided to seek out a crossroads where he invoked one of my brethren. We're more than happy to make a deal with him, of course. Seemed like a rather good lad. as of yet, that debt has not been called in. But of course, if you were to decide not to sign this contract, I suppose it's possible that debt collectors might show up at your brother's door rather soon.
Can I go back to the ship now? Didn't I just tell you that destiny is preordained?
For yourself, certainly. You prepared to condemn
No,
your
for
brother as
everybody
well?
can go. Yes. If he
Don't
was an
fuck
idiot
this
enough
up
to
for
do
us,
it.
Ingrid.
You really? Really?
You're not helping, Walrus. Just saying.
Neither is she.
No, I think she knows exactly what she's doing.
I want to get out of here, dude.
Is my being complicit in this dependent, or you're getting out dependent on me being complicit in this plan? Do I have to be part of it?
Well, if you're not helping, you're not helping.
That is a good question, though. If she doesn't want to, are we all out of the contract then?
No, these are individually. But you all, upon the time that we decide to act, will have your memories restored. If she does not have her memory restored, she might find herself rather reluctant to help or carry out the plan.
I appreciate the offer of cooked baby alligator. And since you won't remember tomorrow, and neither will I'm gonna go now.
By all means, Miss Ingrid.
I will get up and leave.
You walk out of the tavern and the dream ends for you, and you remember none of it. I must say, I not had
Who's
counted
cooking
on her being
Cajun?
so callous towards her brother.
I'm just like clenched and just livid.
I knew she was gonna be the roughest one to deal with.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't know what a selfish bitch she was.
It's a little harsh.
Perhaps the information I had about her was rather out of date, considering the change of identity within the last few years.
I think if we get Vedita on, Ingrith might be more willing.
Perhaps
I think if
that'll be
Vedita
possible
says
to
yes,
do
we
now
might
that
get
you
it.
provide me with more information about Miss Vedita.
They seem rather close. So maybe the peer pressure will that way.
One can only hope. Well, I do believe that will conclude our business for the evening then. Rather down note to finish on, but
I think we put everything in that we could.
until
It was
next
preordained for her to not sign, I guess.
time. Is it just me, or does that seem crazy?
Yep. Just
I
not
don't
owning any of her
generally try
actions.
to, trash on other people's beliefs, but that seems a bit crazy.
If she didn't want to sign it, she could at least just own up to it and say, I just don't want to do that. Instead of saying, it wasn't in my cards.
Oh, calm, Walrus. Aren't you the one that worshipped a fellow party member? You can't knock somebody for their religion when you had Lulu.
Lulu taught me all about the Blood War and, I don't know, gave me something to look for and try to help out with again.
Yes.
Well,
So I would
still,
not
it was
call
a rather strange occurrence for you to, I believe she said that you thought her shooting a fireball at you brought you back to life.
It did!
Oh dear lord.
She shot me while I was almost on the brink of death, and then when I was alive again, I did a ton of damage. It was incredible.
And that's what. Oh my god.
And I wanted to know how and why all that happened.
Lord. Absolutely. Yeah.
And now I'm
Rather
all the more
strange
powerful
string of
because
events,
of it.
but I am glad for you to have been brought into the fold, Mr. Walrus.
Thrilled.
Well, until next time, then. He
Yes.
stands up and shakes your hand once more, Gilderoy, and says, "Happy to have you on the team, Mr. Lockhart."
Pleasure's all mine. Actually, the pleasure's all yours.
Oh, indeed. And the dream ends.
Oh,
That's something.
damn.
Shenanigans!
Oof.
La 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 la.
A plot within a plot.
Yeah.
I still love Barnabas, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're
I
halfway
want to
there.
keep
Gotta-
him.
Just gotta get Vedita on board, and then he's just gonna chip away at Ingrid.
Mm,
I mean, we'll see if Vedita gets on board.
Oh,
I
it'll
mean,
happen.
you've met me in real life. You know how stubborn I am.
Yes.
How many years has it taken me to be able to convince you of something, Ray? I don't think I can still convince you of anything.
Uh-huh.
I'd give, what, like,
Now I'm just
4
confused.
I know
years for me to
too.
get you to watch Critical Role.
Yeah. That took many years.
Uh-huh.
And now I can't stop, so
Mm.
thank you.
Question mark. Buying dice.
That was my influence. A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Well then. Can I officially
Okay,
end the
so
stream?
we can't do this Saturday.
No.
We're going to not do Monday because of the stuff going on at Brandon's work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it'd just be less stressful for me to try to rush home and keep you guys updated about when I'm going to get off work.
Mm-hmm.
So
14.
Saturday the 14th.
I
Works for
believe
me.
that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm good. Let me look at my thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
I have so many plans.
Oh yeah.
So
mean, unless-
many plans.
Unless Vox Machina comes out, like the Legend of Vox Machina, I think we're all open.
Yeah.
There's not a release date yet or anything, right?
I don't think so.
End
Nope.
of the year.
Is it actually end of the year?
It's I believe it said late winter, late
I think so, yeah.
21, early 2022. In the
Getting there.
last, in the voice, Legends of the Voices of Vox Machina, it said that.
It wouldn't surprise
Legend
me.
of the
if
Voice of the Legend of Vox Machina.
I know.
That one, that's
Say
intro.
that 5 times fast.
So it was that.
All right, and that should give me sufficient time to plan some stuff out now that I've got a concrete idea on what your guys' strategy is going forward.
Strategy.
Strategy.
An idea that will definitely go wrong.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
In every
Always.
way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Oh, our plans normally go to shit.
Yeah.
And that's being
I mean,
nice.
that's